I started my business, Virtual Cash Incorporated, back in 1996, and I've been practicing law since 1994. I have worked for several companies and all different kinds of clients, from the poorest of the poor to literally some of the wealthiest families in the world. Listen up, trusted friends. Start up, trust smarter, execute your plan, take action. I'm Mitchell Chadrow. This is the Mitchell Chadrow Show. So if you are ready to listen up, here is today's story on our first show. Today, you need more than one source of income. You heard the saying diversify when it comes to investments. Well, it applies to business, family, and life. You also heard of don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you're looking for a job, the time to be looking is when you don't need one, not when you do. If you want to start a business, but you are in a so-called secure job and say, well, I certainly don't need to do that now, think again. Be open-minded and flexible. I have now interviewed over 75 entrepreneurs. The content provided by our guests is a university on wheels. The stories provide you with your own roadmap to success. It provides critical steps, processes, how-to guides, what works, challenges, and resources available to you. Study them, learn from them. Some amazing people. We have guests that are truly international, from Hong Kong, New Zealand, London, to Australia. We interview fintech gurus. We even have a QVC host, business leaders, successful book authors, other podcast hosts, successful women entrepreneurs, outstanding business owners who have sold their businesses for tens of millions of dollars, and young entrepreneurs. We even have a contestant on Shark Tank who actually raised money for his business. Founders and CEOs of public companies. Those entrepreneurs that are actually bootstrapping just to get started, and so much more. So who are some of the other guests that we're going to have? We interview a wide range of guests. What is it like to be a college kid, start up a business, get on national TV, get funding from billionaire Mark Cuban? We interview that entrepreneur. What's it like being the chairman of the board of the largest credit card equipment company in the world that most of our listeners use each and every day? Verifone. Someone who was the president of the largest competitor of Visa, American Express, and Discover. We actually interview him right here on the Listen Up Show. We also interview serial entrepreneurs. For example, a genius who paved the way for the litigation finance industry market in the United States. His Listen Up Show appearance was written about on the famous page 6 of the New York Post, featured on the Blaze TV, E! Entertainment, U.S. Weekly Celebrity News, the New York Daily News, Extra TV, the Huffington Post, so tune in for that show. We interview a successful entrepreneur who helped build Prosper, who is the largest alternative online lender. I actually interview an international banker who started not one, not two, but 3 banks on 3 different continents. One of the most recognized wine brands, started by a husband and wife. They sold their brand to E.J. Gallo Winery. We actually interview them right here on the Listen Up Show. We interview a college dean, the first college in the nation to start an entrepreneurial studies degree here in the United States. And how about this interview? Mothers and fathers are looking for student loans and information for their high school, college-bound children. We actually interview the founder of one of the most popular online student loan companies. Also, do you need a private loan? Chances are the company founder that we actually interviewed insures your loan. He is a brilliant entrepreneur that took $1 million to build one of the largest private insurance companies in the United States. You can check out the full list of our guests back at our website, mitchellchadrow.com. Having more than one income stream enables you to withstand the ups and the downs that can and will come with business, family, and life. Whether you work for an employer, a startup company, or are doing something on the side as a student while going to school, you might be retiring and deciding to turn that hobby into something bigger, or finally taking that passion and starting it up. Or you have an existing business and you want to take it to the next level. Today, I work on the projects I want to work with, the people that I want to work with, and the companies that I want to associate myself with. For me, that's the definition of success. Today, success is defined as working on the projects you want with the people and companies you want to work with and associate with, and feel that you and your company are being reasonably and fairly compensated. For me and my listeners, that's the definition of success and something to work hard towards. I have worked for and with all types of people, good, bad, indifferent, and in between. I now want to take all these experiences and share with you to help you with your own journey. When I was in the second grade, I thought having $1 million was success. I went to my mom and I asked her if she would actually teach me how to write out a check for $1 million. When I took that check to school and thinking I was a millionaire, ran up the stairwell and said, "I am a millionaire." Well, the next thing you know, they brought me down to the office. They called my mom. They said, "Mrs. Chadrow, your son Mitchell is down here at the office with a check of yours made out for $1 million. I learned quickly that becoming a millionaire takes more than writing a check for $1 million. How do you allocate time? Warren Buffett allocates capital well, but time, that's extremely precious. How do you align that time among and between business, family, and life? How do you leverage resources and sift through all the information? Time is worth more than money. The Listen Up Show entertains, educates, and helps guide you on your own passion journey to success on your own terms. From idea creation to execution, whatever solution or product you're interested in developing and offering to the public, we speak to our guests about their business, their personal lives and lifestyle, so that you can gain from listening up on how they are managing their business and personal lifestyle. Our guests provide practical knowledge, tips, and resources, and provide information you can personally use in life and business. My trusted friends come from all different backgrounds: millennials, Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z, or baby boomers and beyond. I'm thankful that you chose to spend your time with me and our guests when traveling, working, or playing. Listen up for advice, resources from our guests' stories, which take you behind the scenes, giving you the practical nuts and bolts about how to start up smarter. With so much information on the internet, you need the truth, someone to help you cut through the clutter and noise. So much hype on the internet, and how do you decide who to listen up to? So if you are at a point in your life where you're not ready to start up a business, that's okay. These ideas can help you land an interview, get the first job, transition to a new industry. When you are ready to start up, all the information is here back on my website at mitchellchadrow.com. Why listen up? The content provided by our guests will not only entertain, but it'll help you as you think about your own ideas, your own business, family, and life. And what they say will actually help provide practical knowledge and tips and resources and provide information that you can personally use. What are some of the types of questions I'll ask? I'm going to ask our guests everything from their own personal story. And if you want to find out about my own personal story, you could actually go on over to mitchellchadrow.com/about. We will ask our guests, what's the one best piece of business advice that they've ever received? We will discuss with them their life-changing moments, those aha moments that got them into starting up, and what were some of the executed steps that they took to get them from startup to launch to final success. I asked them what contributes most to their success and some of their key challenges that they encountered. We structure the show in 3 main segments. Our Startup Smarter round, which is engaging questions to get to know our guests better. I'm curious, so I'm not afraid to ask the tough questions, and I do my homework before the guests come on the show. Our listeners who sign up on our website can also send in questions for our guests. Our fast pitch round, we ask our questions fast to get quick answers. And our wrap-up round, we provide takeaways and how we can actually stay in touch with the guests. To get full transcripts of our interviews, you just go on over to listenupshow.com. You could see the show notes, resources that are mentioned on each show, back on our blog at mitchellchadrow.com. And if you want the show notes for this show, mitchellchadrow.com/show001. So what are some of the topics that we're going to be covering? We talk about hardware, Internet of Things, and fintech, and angel investing. We talk to app developers and content marketers. We even have an entire episode on crowdfunding and crowdsourcing and wearable technology. We even get into the most interesting topics of augmented and virtual reality, marketing strategies, entrepreneurial education, product development, business leadership, career advice. I mean, we are covering it all from estate and business planning in our show 009, finance, bootstrapping, financial services, and so much more. We have motivational speakers and technology software application entrepreneurs and tech entrepreneurs. At the end of the show, the guests provide us with 3 main takeaways, special links and resources, and how we can actually stay in contact with them. Back on my website, I have a section for resources. If you don't exactly know where to start, there's even a section that says Start Here that helps you go through and navigate the website. Back on my website, you'll have all of my blogs, all of my podcast posts, all back on my website. Our fast pitch round is sponsored by Chadrow.net, CHADROW.net. Now, let's get back to it. I love books. I actually have a book club back at mitchellchadrow.com/books, and I always ask my guest to recommend a book that they have really enjoyed. It could be in business or personal or family or life, and anything. To see more of my recommendations and recommendations of our guests, just go to mitchellchadrow.com/books. It's your #1 resource for book reviews and recommendations. Send me your questions after you sign up at the website at mitchellchadrow.com/sign up. Our wrap-up round, sponsored by the Virtual Cash Brands, the Smarter series. From Trust Smarter to Bank Smarter to Startup Smarter, Employee Smarter, App Smarter. Again, you'll check out the Smarter series that sponsors our show. Listen up on so many platforms. It's a podcast network from iTunes, Overcast, Stitcher, YouTube, Google Play, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Today, iTunes controls 70% of the podcast market. So once you subscribe, it's easy to leave a review and a sentence or two about why you gave it a 5-star rating. Trusted friends of the Listen Up Show, sign up at mitchellchadrow.com. Just go to the upper right-hand corner of the website and click on the sign up button. My trusted friends who sign up at Mitchell Chadrow get the Startup Smarter Guide ebook, providing resources and tools to start your business, and the Startup Smarter checklist. I also publish on YouTube. So, for example, if you go to mitchellchadrow.com/YouTube, you'll be able to get our show over there. And so for the first show, it'll be mitchellchadrow.com/YouTube001. And then for the next show, it'll be YouTube 002. We also publish on LinkedIn. All you have to remember is .com/LinkedIn. It's an honor to help all of my trusted friends. Wherever you are in your stage of life, business, or family, I want this to be an open community where you get practical advice, stories that you can use to apply in your own situation. Back on my website, I have a section on resources. If you don't know where to start, click on Start Here. All my blog and podcast posts are on my website. You can share on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Quora, Facebook, Reddit, and anywhere you can share. I will truly be appreciative by word of mouth and you telling your own trusted friends about me, Mitchell Chadrow, and the Listen Up Show. You are your own person and will ultimately be true to yourself. But our community here learn from each other, helps one another, and why you are all my trusted friends. Okay, we will be back soon with more business content and entrepreneurial stories. I am Mitchell Chadrow, and this is The Mitchell Chadrow Show. The Mitchell Chadrow Show is a Virtual Cash Incorporated production. Copyright 2016 through 2019. Also, tune into the Listen Up Show and check out my other website at listenupshow.com. Tune in next time for the Mitchell Chadrow Show with more stories of amazing business people, entrepreneurs, and startups whose stories provide real value, guidance, and help and entertainment for our Listen Up audience. Alex Pete Hart, former president and CEO of MasterCard International, in our next show, and he has over 5 decades of wisdom. So for the next show, it'll be mitchellchadrow.com/show002. I'm Mitchell Chadrow. Until next time, my trusted friends.